What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Terror Reels.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Today, I'll be reviewing the 2017 adaptation of the Stephen King novel, It. Now, it's important to remember, this isn't a reboot of the 1990 miniseries. This is a whole new spin on the novel. We start in the town of Derry with Georgie and his brother Bill in Bill's room. But let's be fair, none of that fucking matters. Let's skip to the answer the biggest question the horror community had when they announced this movie. Did they show Georgie getting his arm ripped off? They do, and holy fuck is it graphic. Pennywise opens his mouth like a painted up shark and bites Georgie's arm off. He tries to crawl himself away from the clown, but Pennywise has reached for days and pulls him into the sewer. In the 1990 It miniseries, Pennywise always just felt like a regular, everyday clown to me. In the 2017 adaptation, they really pushed the fact that Pennywise, the dancing clown, isn't just something from this earth or dimension. He's just what our puny brains can comprehend as him, our biggest fears. We see Mike trying to kill a sheep with an air gun. He just can't do it, and his grandpa takes care of business, while giving his grandfatherly advice. I wish they kept Mike a bit closer to how he was in the book. He was a history major, and was a predominant character. Honestly, if you took him out of this movie, nobody would really notice. We cut back to Richie, Bill, Stanley, and Eddie walking through the halls talking about Stan's upcoming bar mitzvah, and dipping and dodging, trying not to get beat up by Henry, Bauer, and his goons. Then we're introduced to Beverly as she smokes in the bathroom like a rebel before they dump fucking garbage water on her.
Such a loser. Oh. Well, at least now you'll smell better.
I'm surprised you didn't burn down the school after that. I know I would have if that would have happened to me. Outside, we see the local new kid, Ben. He acts like a giant doofus when he meets Beverly. Like DJ Run for Cover, Ben loves some new kids on the block. Beverly goes to sign his yearbook, and Ben is absolutely smitten as he drags his headphones on the ground as he walks away. We come to Mike delivering some meat before he starts having flashbacks of what I'm assuming is the Black Spot fires. According to the Wikipedia page, in this adaptation, the Black Spot was burnt down by a cult in 1962, but in the book it was burnt down by the Maine Legion of White Decency, which I have a strong feeling that Henry's father was a part of.
Get the fuck out of my town!
Stan's studying for his bar mitzvah. After his dad says some dumb shit, Stan walks in his dad's office to put a book away, trying his damnedest not to look at this creepy-ass painting. The painting falls and he goes to pick it up when he notices the fucking witch lady is gone. Witches be bitches, Stan, but you're about to be an adult. You gotta learn to defend for yourself. Before you all tell me what a fucking idiot I am, I know that this lady probably isn't a witch. Witches are scary though, and Pennywise works on fear, so go fuck yourselves. We cut over to Eddie's place when the gang gets some snacks and Richie tries to get some sugar from Eddie's mom before going off to the sewers.
Don't believe me? Then try it yourself at home. Whenever you're outside. Do you want one for me too, Mrs. K?
He is funny as fuck in this movie. He's got a witty comeback for everything. They really got how kids talk down in this movie. It reminds me of how me and my friends talked when we were that age. We were fucking assholes to each other. We cut over to Ben in the library writing a love letter to Beverly. Good luck, bud. Then he goes on to read about the town's history. In this movie, he's the history buff. Not Mike, but Ben. While he flips through the book, the same picture of an Easter explosion, killing 88 people, keeps zooming in until we see a severed head in the tree. Ben follows a floating balloon down to a trail of eggs where a headless boogeyman is downstairs turning into a jerky-ass Pennywise.
Egg boy!
As Ben escapes the library, another horror is waiting for him. Henry and his goons kidnap Ben. These adults don't give a fuck because every adult in Derry is a piece of shit. This hillbilly psycho begins to cut Ben's stomach before Henry fights back. And kicks himself down the hill and runs into the sewer system. The loser clubs go back and forth on going into this super huge system of tunnels with some funny and realistic back and forth banter.
Have you ever heard of a staph infection?
Also, staph infection.
So unsanitary.
Out of nowhere, a dirty, bloody Ben shows up with a goon hot on his trails. He comes in with his white trash flamethrower to find some weird-ass mole people kids. As he runs into a dead end, a I Heart Dairy balloon pops in his face, only to reveal a mole person Pennywise, who eats him out of existence. The gang grabs supplies to make sure that Ben doesn't die, but they can't afford it. Bev decides to help them out by distracting this perverted pharmacist so they can steal the supplies. She's a real trooper and even swipes a pack of smokes for herself. The next day, we find the Losers Club spitting loogies into the quarry. Richie lets out a loud, "What the fuck?" as Bev shows them all up by being the first one who jumps in the water. Bill mentions a turtle. They actually bring up turtles in this version. The gang runs over to Ben's house. They see his Charlie Days string-like diagram on the walls of all the fucked up shit that's happened in Derry. Well, it's not all fucked up, right, Richie?
Derry started as a beaver trapping camp.
Still is, am I right, boys?
Bev finds and quickly hides Ben's new kid on the block poster from the gang before we cut to Eddie walking down the infamous Needbolt Street. Playing the song of our country with his hand flute, he drops his pills only to be helped up by the friendly neighborhood leper who turned out to be Pennywise holding a fuck ton of balloons. They all pop, and Eddie shits his pants. Beverly finds the poem that Ben slipped to her at the quarry. Bev hears voices coming from the fucking sink. Not sure why, but she decides to use a tape measurer to see what's going on in her drain. The tape measurer goes 24 feet down, but comes back up, bloody, hairy, and then out of nowhere, the hair tries to pull her into the drain and spews out an amount of blood that would make Sam Raimi proud. Her dad comes in asking what the fuck is she screaming about. Apparently, he can't see the blood-soaked room. He doesn't seem to give a shit about the situation and leaves. Back at Billy's house, he gets a bucket for the leaky roof before going into his brother's room. Hey look, a Lego turtle. Billy hears something and goes to investigate. Eventually, Billy makes it down to his flooded basement where, oh shit, it's his brother Georgie. Oh fuck, Pennywise is here too. Here comes that eerie tagalong that everyone knows and loves. Man, I love that scene. Pennywise using his dead brother as a puppet to scream "You'll float too," just to put fear into his brother's heart is so fucked up. I love the way he slides his face away from the steps. They really made Pennywise feel like a fucking monster that he deserves to be in this movie. The boys roll over to Bev's to help her clean up the mess. We get a cleaning montage while 6 different ways plays by the Cure. Beverly brings up the poem. But Bill doesn't fuck with poetry, and Beverly gets confused because who else could have gave her the poem? As the Losers Club ride around talking about Pennywise,
Wait, can only virgins see this stuff? Is that why I'm not seeing this shit?
they notice that there's an empty Joe Dirt car and Mike's bike laying there. They know this is no fucking good. They run down to find the goons trying to rub Mike's face into the meat, while Pennywise enjoys some meat of his own. Right before Henry bashes Mike's face in with a rock, Beverly chucks a rock and hits Bowers in the head. Good shooting, Tex. This starts an epic rock battle. My friends and I did this as kids. It was always a fun time. The Losers Club wins.
Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing asshole!
This rock fight leads to Mike being accepted in the Losers Club. Hey look, Batman and Lethal Weapon 2 is playing in the theaters behind him. While I've been watching that, the Losers Club figure out that Pennywise shows his ugly mug every 27 years. They head over to Billy's house and try to figure out a plan as their projector starts living by its own rules. His mom turns into Pennywise and they freak the fuck out. He comes out of the fucking wall. A lot of people thought this was a cheap thrill, but it rules to me. I figured he would just kind of stand in front of the screen. It was a good scare. After some bickering, they decide they're going to go to 1313 Mockingbird... the house on Needbolt Street. Eddie, Billy, and Richie go in, and Richie finds a missing persons flyer of him fucking self. Fuck that. If I were to have found that myself, I would have shit my pants just like Richie did. After being calmed down, they roll upstairs, where they inevitably get separated. The leper makes Eddie pass out and falls through the fucking floor and breaks his arm. Richie finds a room that's filled with fucking Pennywise dolls. This is creepy as shit. There's even a doll that throw back to the Tim Curry Pennywise. The coffin in the middle of the room opens up to have a doll of Richie in there. Fuck all of this. He closes the top of the coffin only for Pennywise to pop out and chase after him.
beep beep, Richie.
Back to Eddie downstairs, tending to his arm as a Rubik's Cube version of Pennywise comes out of the fridge, and Swagger steps over to Richie to get him nice and full of fear. Upstairs, a possessed version of Eddie pops out through the hobo piss-covered mattress and asks if they want to spit loogies before a waterfall of burning blood flows out of his mouth and flows towards Richie and Billy, forcing them to go through one of these 3 game show doors. Pick the not scary door at all. Pick door number 1. You fucking idiots. Pick door number 1. Fuck, that door was scary. What kind of game show is this? They power through it only to hear Eddie scream. Pennywise says some shit that's totally over the line.
This isn't real enough for you, Billy. I'm not real enough for you.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't real enough for Georgie.
Pennywise starts charging after Billy, only to get an iron rod through the face. Thanks, Beverly. I love that the blood flows up like this. It's the little things in this movie that really makes it for me. It makes him feel like he's a real Lovecraftian creature, and the clown is the only way we can comprehend him. Pennywise slashes Ben's gut before retreating down the well. They get the fuck out of the house, only to see Eddie's mother. She helicopter moms Eddie away from the gang. The gang gets into a fight over the absurdity of this whole situation, and this breaks up the Losers Club. For now, at least. Because without the club, this movie would be over. We still have 45 minutes and a part 2 to go through. Some time goes by, and we come back to Henry being a psychopath before his dad comes to scare him straight. Which is probably how Ben became a psychopath from the start.
Hey!
He's hanging out in front of his car when he notices a red balloon tied to his mailbox. I wish Amazon did stuff like this when I got a package. He opens his Prime delivered package to reveal his dad's knife he lost after cutting Ben's guts open. He strolls into the house and sees what his passed out dad's watching.
Well done, Henry. Kill them all.
Holy fuck, that oh no sound clip that plays when Henry sticks his dad into third is pretty amazing. We cut to Bev trying to leave her house, but her weirdo dad has locked the door from the inside. When doors are locked from the inside, that's never good. Her dad asks about the poem he found, and he's not happy. He then goes and gets creepy as fuck, but Bev isn't having it and pulls away. Her dad overpowers her, and she's on the ground until he gets fucking kneed in the dick. Bev runs to the bathroom, and as her dad kicks in the door, he gets fucking brained with the lid of the toilet bowl. She watches him bleed and then goes to walk out, only to get fucking gripped up by Pennywise. Billy walks in the apartment and finds "You die if you try" written on the ceiling. He runs over to the movie theater playing Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Stay tuned to Terror Reels to see me review that movie in about a month or so. She gets Richie and the rest of the gang together. They call Eddie and he's down to ride. After yelling at his mom about his medicine is gazebos and bullshit, he goes to join the club.
You know what these are? They're gazebos! They're bullshit!
The gang gets to the Neighbot house armed with an air pistol, a few iron rods, and a broken bottle. At least you tried. We enter her house and head for the well in the basement, and begin the adventure down the well like a good Goonie adventure should. Back to Beverly in the sewer system, she looks up at a circus crate for Pennywise and a huge mountain of dead bodies and shit floating around. I know a lot of people thought this was stupid. No. This finally gives real meaning to the "You'll Float too" catchphrase that everybody knows. The book nor miniseries ever really touched on the "You'll Float too" line outside of the balloon. This is a great image, and this would truly be glorifying to see. As she tries to escape, Pennywise promo tape plays behind her through a jack-in-the-box, and we finally see Pennywise dance. And it's as terrifyingly awesome as you would hope. Pennywise goes to smell Bev's fear level, and upon noticing that her fear levels are pretty minimum, we finally get to see some deadlights, and they are actually pretty scary. The deadlights in the miniseries were pretty fucking weak. We cut back to Mike being the last loser to go down the well. He tries, at least, before Bowers comes out of nowhere and bashes him in the back of the head with a pipe and takes the rope. He is such a fucking dick. Don't worry though, Mike bashes Henry in the head with a rock and tackles Henry down the well before dropping the air pistol ammo down the well as well. I wonder if Henry will be in the second movie and try to kill himself in the mental hospital. Doesn't look like it. Anyways, they find their way to the sewer system, but something catches Stanley's eye. It's a fucking witch from the beginning. Pennywise knows just how to fuck with people. Bill sees his brother Georgie and chases after him. The gang finds Bev floating after finding some severed heads in the water system. They can't wake her up. Ben does the only thing a 12-year-old fairy tale reading kid would think to do in this situation. He kisses her and wakes her up Sleeping Beauty style.
Whoa. Wow.
Billy finally finds his brother. The one thing he's been trying to do this entire movie. They have a pretty heartwarming moment together before.
But you're not Georgie.
The first time I saw this, I kept thinking, what if it really was his brother and he just put him down? Georgie starts freaking out and convulsing into a large, puppety Pennywise. Mike mentions the air gun isn't loaded, but Billy shoots anyway, and puts a dissolving hole into the clown's head. This is a reimaginative of the inhaler from the miniseries. The kids believe it will kill the cosmic clown, and it starts to work before they all start kicking the shit out of the clown. Pennywise is able to break free and grabs Billy. Either the clown keeps Billy and the rest survive, or everybody dies.
And now, I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown.
Hell yeah, Richie. Never give up, never surrender. You continue to beat the fuck out of this clown as he really reaches into his bag of tricks to become the thing these kids fear. The arm of everybody who died in the Black Club, the witch, a spider, a zombie with rags, a leper who pukes on Eddie, and even Bev's dad. Bev rams a rhubarb pipe down his throat, and it is a critical hit. Pennywise retreats into the well and whispers fear as he backflips down the well.
Fear.
Pennywise finally knows what fear feels like as his head dissipates and floats away with him, dropping into the well. It's finally over. The Losers Club won, for now at least. The group hugs it out as it finally sinks in for Billy that his brother's gone. We flash forward a month later with everyone sitting in the field saying their goodbyes, but not before making a blood pact that if this piece of shit clown ever comes back, they'll reform the Losers Club and fuck his shit up once again. And there you have it. That's 2017's It, directed by Andre Muschietti? I'm not sure how to say that. I just say that I fucking love this movie. I think it's way better than the miniseries ever was. I know that the miniseries was made for TV, but people still say it's one of the scariest movies of all time. I disagree with that. This movie was everything that the miniseries was supposed to be, but better. Bill Skarsgård made for a better Pennywise. I know I'll get shit in my comments for saying that. While Tim Curry is a good actor, Skarsgård played such a better Pennywise. He made Pennywise feel like the cosmic terror that he was meant to be. The way he talked, moved, and even the tricks he did with his eyes. Now we have to wait for part 2 for the new and improved It series, which is supposed to come out in theaters September 6th of this year. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of Terror Reels. My next video will start off the review of the Nightmare on Elm Street's franchise, and you don't want to miss that.